to another Argyle Tech tutorial. Today we are going to be taking a look at the portfolio. Those of you who have been familiar with the home education scene, as it were, are used to portfolio reviews that happen 3 times a year. Here's all my stuff, take a look at it. This is marginally different because in this case, the portfolio is representative of all the assignments and evaluations that are going to be taken for a student during the entire school year, and it allows for stuff to be submitted continuously, probably even every week, and getting regular feedback that's going to help that child do their absolute best. The other thing that's very unique and interesting about the portfolio is it's demonstrative of mastery. Students are able to continuously redo and resubmit assignments until they feel they've done it the best they possibly can. With teacher feedback, with my help, however they want to, improve upon it, we can certainly do that, and by the end of the school year, their mark is really going to be truly representative of everything that they can do. So to find the portfolio, all you need to do is come to either, in this case we're looking at the 6-7 LiveOnline classroom obviously, but in the 6-7 LearnIT classroom, it's the same story. Right here, front and center, middle of the page, you'll see a button here that says portfolio. And clicking on that will open this new page, and on there you will see a chart. Now the chart consists of blocks for each subject. So over here we got English, over here we got social studies, math, science, etc. You see, it keeps going like that. You will see several different columns. One is for assessment. Now we can take any sample of student work and we can break that into some specific categories as to how much that does in terms of telling us what a student has learned during the school year. Some items that are essential level are important, but they don't necessarily tell us the depth of what a student has really learned. When we move into moderate and high level assessments, those certainly tell us a lot more. Summative come at the end of the year, so you don't even have to worry about those right now. They're going to come at the end of the year. For grade 6s, it's going to be your provincial achievement test. For 7s, you'll just have final exams in your courses. Nothing to worry about. But it will be an additional piece that creates a very full picture of a student's learning during the course of the school year. So let's get into some more of the meat of what's going on here. Let's take a look at essential level items. In here you will find the essential level items. Now essential level items are going to be the types of learning activities or demonstrations of learning that are fairly straightforward. They're quick, they're easy to do. You can usually mark them yourself, or they can be done as a self-marked activity, or they might be, for example, 10 little question exam bank quizzes, any sort of self-marking exam or quiz. Those would certainly qualify as essential level items. Now, how are you really going to find out? How am I going to remember what's essential, what's moderate, etc.? Well, clicking on any of these submission pages gives you samples or possibilities you may choose. These aren't all the things they have to do. These are things you may choose. So you can submit, in this case, up to 5 examples of, for social studies, either daily work, answers to sort of textbook questions. There are lots of great questions and activities out of your textbooks for grade 6 and 7. Vocabulary exercises, discussions. If you did participate in forum posts inside of our class, that would count as well. And you'll also find I can statements. I can statements are a broken down, slightly simpler version of all the outcomes in parent and student friendly language, and those outcomes have been prioritized in their level of importance. Those things that are going to be carried on through multiple years may not have that same level of emphasis. Some things that are going to be specific to that year might have more emphasis. Certainly those ones that take more time to learn, period, are going to have more emphasis. And all that's been broken down inside of those I can statements. You can find those on the main page of our classroom. So now let's take a look at some moderate level items. Moderate level items, we're going to be pushing the bar a little bit higher. These are the kinds of activities that have taken longer to complete. They usually involve more than 1 or 2 days work, maybe even a week's work. Students have had to put a fair bit of thought into it. Oftentimes there's multiple pieces that are contained with that. And the answers aren't clear-cut. There's certainly going to be some clear-cut answers in there where they'll know and you'll know if it's right or it's wrong. But there will be others that really need to be submitted, and we need to have some dialogue, some feedback back and forth on what's been completed inside of there. Now again, clicking on any one of these is going to show you some different samples. So we're looking at math right now, and some moderate level items that you can do for math. Potentially, you can do a unit test for math. Now, in here it references Exam Bank. In this case, we can take a look at Exam Bank in relation to math, and that will give us a snapshot of what students are doing. What I would recommend in this case is if you want to submit for math as a moderate level, submit more than one. Preferably submit 3 of those exams as an example of moderate level evaluation. That's going to be a little more telling. One quick 10-question quiz may or may not say a lot. If they ace it, well, that looks great. Hopefully that's exactly how well they're doing. But it's not a complete picture. Another thing that's going to give a little bit more information will be either like these self-teaching unit booklets or LearnIT assignments. Now these LearnIT assignments, also called transfer tasks, project-based tasks, they're also called application type problems, real world problems. I have those available for many of the units, so you can ask me for one of those and we can put that in and you can complete that as an evaluation that's going to fit for a moderate level assessment. Now we also have high level assessments. Now high level assessments are going to take significantly more time. That's the short answer. They are going to push students to reach higher levels. We're trying to get students to really synthesize, create, evaluate with the work that they're demonstrating in this category. Now, for example, we're looking at science here. Coming up after the winter break, we will be looking into science fair and getting ready for that. It is an involved process. It's probably going to encompass about 4 weeks. It's going to be a very full and very engaging and interesting activity, and it's going to be great to see what students come up with. And that is going to be one that we're certainly doing in LiveOnline. I'm definitely going to try and get all the LearnIT students involved as well. But what you can do is also click on this and you can see some of the other examples. So Science Fair project is in here, but you could do a separate sort of project, sort of science related, not necessarily the same. You can do some of the LearnIT assignments that you'll find in there. You could do a research paper or a comprehensive lab report. These are all samples, so you don't have to submit every type. Submit one of the following. This is where you get some choice. If you find that you are not finding what you're looking for, if you're thinking, gosh, we did not do anything like any of these examples that you're talking about, then we need to just sit down and have a chit chat, because I suspect more than likely many of you have been doing lots of interesting things and just may not realize where that fits. So if you're unsure, feel free to contact me and we can go over that. Now there will also always be certain exceptions that are going to happen throughout the school year. We may find that some of these categories are going to fill them all up and then fill them up again. That just might be the way it goes, and that's absolutely fine. None of these are final until June 10th. So feel free to keep submitting or resubmitting over top of other activities, and we can keep that feedback dialogue going. If you really don't find what you're looking for, if you find yourself confused, please do not hesitate to contact me. I've got an open office 4 days a week, Tuesday through Friday. I've also can arrange to meet with you at a separate time, and we can go over and find where student learning is really fitting into some of these different categories. I think by the time we get to the end of the school year, what we're really going to see is students who are more engaged, less concerned certainly about the attainment of grades, are going to be more focused on really trying to rehearse and improve themselves and have indicators in that they can use to guide that improvement process. And by the end of the year, those students will have demonstrated mastery in all of their subjects. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me, and thank you. Have a great day.